All right, looks like the stream is live. Welcome into Silver Lining Podcast. Rex and Adam here. Another edition of Live. Some of you will leave a comment later today. I can't believe I missed the live. Why didn't I know about the live? It should have popped up and it didn't, but I'm watching the replay. Hi, everybody. 5 hours later, watching the replay. We're here. I don't know why we're doing it at 4:30 Mountain on Saturday, but it just seemed to be like something that was like, sounds good. Let's just keep doing it. So Rex
because
and I
we
are
did it last week, so we're trying to. We thought
consistent.
we'd try 2 weeks of consistency and see what that does to people.
Rex and I think that we're consistent when we go two lives
in a
at
row.
the same time. Whether you like it or not, this is what we're doing. But yeah, welcome into the live podcast. We welcome everybody who is wants to watch or listen. Anybody that wants to participate today and ask any questions, make sure you just send us a message or type in a comment. We have moderators. We have Missy. Is Kim also Kimberly doing moderating?
Yep, Kimberly's moderating.
All right. So we have moderators that will help generate your questions to get to Rex and I. And then a lot of times, if we don't get to your questions on the live, sometimes on another podcast, Rex and I like to go back and try to answer some of the questions that we didn't have time for. So depending on what your questions are, make sure you let us know what you want to know or what you want to discuss or what you want to hear our thoughts on. Rex and I have started this podcast of giving you our inside information of our family and how our family is doing with this whole case. But there's other cases too now that we're I'm not tied into it, but I think part of Rex's family is tied into the other one that everybody's talking about today.
Not enough for us to really pursue it.
Right, exactly. But at least it's
the Jody Hildebrandt and
yeah.
Ruby Frankie story. So
somebody sent me a TikTok today about that, and I was like, just because I lived in St. George does not mean that I know anything or know anybody that was involved in that. But
yeah,
some people do.
Well, Adam, let me start with a follow-up from the last live, which was a follow-up from the previous one when I remember you and I both apologized at the beginning for getting into politics. Let me just reiterate, I still stand by my apology of getting into politics. My apology wasn't, I think there was one person, maybe two, that were offended that I used Mitt Romney as an example of a politician. Okay, they got offended. Okay, that's unfortunate. Offending someone's unfortunate. Obviously, we try not to do that. But my apology wasn't that. It didn't really have to do with Mitt Romney. My apology was bringing in politics more than we have to into this podcast community, because that is not what this community is for. That was my apology. I will try to steer away from doing that, bringing opinions that will be controversial because they're political. So right away, of course, there are going to be two sides. And many of you commented, you're all very supportive, very loving. We appreciate that. Same thing with religion. We don't mind talking religion when it's answering a related question, because there's such a religious component in these cases, especially Lori and Chad. So inevitably religion will come up, and we do have some insight into that. So we don't mind talking about it, but we won't preach religion. We won't bring out anything that smacks of, well, this church is right, this religion's wrong, anything like that. I was apologizing for doing that with politics. So we'll avoid that in the future.
And to be fair, the question was asking us about our church. Does your church tell people who to vote for, or do they like the government or do what the government says? Do they follow the government laws? It was something along those lines. So Rex and I tried to answer that question, and why we answered it, we just threw in a few extra of our opinions on things that have happened that we saw. So we'll be, like Rex said, we'll be careful what we say. We definitely want this channel and our podcast is really to promote being together. It's promoting healing. It's promoting laughing. It's promoting learning. I mean, I've learned so much from this podcast from most of you. Well, obviously I learned from Rex, because Rex is highly intelligent. So
Right.
I do like to listen to Rex, and I've learned a lot from Rex, but a lot of you have made comments and things that I've never even thought of. I even remember when I went on here and I was kind of going off a tangent about this lady that yelled at me at my pickleball job, and over 100 comments of people tell me how to deal with a woman who's emotional. And there was like several comments on there that, obviously, again, a lot of people were very supportive of me. Well, she shouldn't have done that. But there were other people that said, look, you could have done this. And those are things that I didn't even think of. But now that I've learned that, I can use that, if that situation happens again. So again, this podcast for me, I love learning new ideas, new things. I love the support that everybody gives each other. And Rex and I are just trying to heal from our experience, and we're sharing those things with you, as well as we're about to hit Chad's trial and Lori's trial. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, bombshells probably that are going to hit us that we'll have to figure out, how to deal with that, as we've dealt with for the last 4 years, how to deal with these bombshells.
Yeah, we had no idea 5 years ago when this went down and really started. It's 5 years of this. We had no idea how all this mental health even worked, that it was such an issue just for us as it unfolded in our family. And then in the last 4 years, we find out, good grief, it unfolded in millions of families across the world. And we are very intrigued with the damage it has done. We weren't thinking in terms of damage done even in us at the beginning, were we, Adam? We were just trying to go day to day and work our way through.
Yeah.
Let me get back. I'll come back to that thought. I'll stop in the middle of it because I put Jen's comment up here. It went along with what you were talking about, Adam. Sorry. The other subject. But she learned something this week. One word you say wrong and people take it out of context. This is such a loving, forgiving community. I don't worry about that, except what I was apologizing for. And that's bringing in politics or religion in the wrong context. Right. We're going to use that word, Jen, the context word a lot, because you hit the nail on the head with your comment here. Thank you for that comment and that observation. But what I was saying about we just didn't have any idea about the trauma that this caused everyone in their family. And Adam and I have been talking about how this community is developed and how all of you are leading the way. Adam and I, sometimes think we should be leading this. We started the podcast, but no, we're following the way this community has gone. And Kimberly just, she instinctively realized, hey, a community's here. I'm going to create the platform for it. And she did the Facebook group. And then we realized, in addition to the wonderful Facebook group, there are thousands of people that aren't in the Facebook group that are part of the community. And they might not see and listen. And most of you don't listen to some people do, but most of you don't listen to every podcast, et cetera. And everyone has their own role or their own place in this community. But we're starting to figure it out, Adam, don't you think?
Yeah, especially this week. We had a couple of really good podcasts that we recorded with two really good guests, and had some really good ideas that could be beneficial to the community. And so we're excited to present those coming up here in the next couple of weeks for you guys to. And I think a lot of you are going to be super excited when you hear the interviews that we did with these two guests and the possibilities that it could have and the effect it could have on a lot of people.
I think it's going to be everyone. I think it's going to be huge. And I think that's where y'all of the community have taken this. And Adam and I are finally catching up as we had these podcasts, these guests on, and we can tell them a little bit more, Adam. the first one was someone we've mentioned before, and he's a licensed counselor, I guess you call it, say a therapist for PTSD. He's one of the handful of therapists that suffered combat PTSD himself and was looking for help that he instinctively knew he needed, couldn't find it. And he went to work developing it, and then developing the tools they needed, and then got the credentials so he could help other combat PTSD veterans. We interviewed him. The insight just floored us. Such high impact. So you're going to be able to hear from him. I'm very proud to say he's my nephew, Adam's cousin.
Yeah, you guys can call him Benny Fufu. He likes that.
Yeah, that you'll hear about that. But I won't take any more of it, but it is dramatic. And so right on the heels of that, he talked a lot about EMDR, which not everyone's familiar with, and I'm not familiar enough with it to talk about. But a big component of that counseling approach is the writing therapy. And several of you have done like Adam and I, and you've written to help figure this out, to help yourself figure it out. And so we want to give you another avenue to maybe get that published, and maybe to learn to write so you can communicate to other people. You're probably just writing for yourself, but you may want to communicate it. That will be the second podcast that we do. And then we have another counselor, another professional psychologist that is will record that podcast this coming week on Wednesday. So we have these 3 podcasts. Then there'll be another follow-up with one of those guests. We'll have 4 podcasts. We have to decide what order to put these in so we can make the impact for y'all well enough without drowning you with such important information. Did I say that okay, Adam?
Yeah, pretty much. We're excited about it. I think when you guys watch the podcast, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch that podcast again, because at the end of the podcast with both of them, I was like, I'm gonna have to rewatch this just to get notes and take some stuff down, because there's a lot of information in there that I think can help a lot of people. And I think we're all in this together, because all of us need help with some kind of healing from a little trauma to a big trauma to all kinds of things in life. I think we're all in this together, and I think this will bring a lot of people together by having them on and helping you, understand some of your feelings and things like that. I liked how Ben explained the feelings situation. So we had some really good conversations. So we're excited in the next couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for the new podcasts that are coming out on Silver Linings.
And let me say again, as we've said so many times, so many of you have big trauma, just tearful, tear-jerking, gripping trauma in your lives. I'm going to call out one person, not because she's the only person that has it, but Carmen Tenbush sent us a request for a book. Book's on the way, Carmen. And in fact, let me say this too. The book's on the way, and Cammie Day is being an example of what we do in this community. All of the books, I haven't counted, but it's close to 40 books the community has provided. Those of you who got a book from us, either someone in the community read their own and then sent it to you. Probably 50 of you include those. And others have them ordered through us, but the community's paying for it. And just like this donation from Cammie Day for $20, that's what that $20 will go to. Carmen, it'll be going to your book. Let's line it up with a certain book, and we'll go over for the next book. And that's a wonderful, wonderful tribute to our community members, both the ones that realize they need or want a book, and so they will speak up for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't get a book because they don't have the situation right now in their life to pay for it. And so others are stepping up to provide that. So
I love reading the posts on Facebook, on our Facebook community. People are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I don't know who sent me this book, but thank you so much. And so a lot of people are getting the book. Now, when you get the book and you read the book, if you're disappointed in the book, don't make any comments. But if you like what you read in the book or listen to, or what's the other one? Audible, the paperback, and the ebook. So there's 3 different ways to get the book. If you do like it, make sure you can leave a comment or a review of what you liked about the book. Don't just say, oh, that's a good book. Just, hey, this is what I really liked about the book. It was this, 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 or this. So we appreciate those reviews as well. But I do like on the Facebook that people are posting all those things too, which are great.
Let's talk about this too. Different subject now is the merch. The merch isn't part of this. The money you donate and the money, we get a few dollars from the mid-roll ads that you see in these. In fact, we go in after our podcast and cut down on the number of mid-roll ads that are in there, because sometimes they're every 2 or 3 minutes. And that drives me crazy watching something. So I'm just projecting that onto you, that you don't want to see a mid-roll ad every 2 or 3 minutes. So we take a lot of those out. But the money, we get a few dollars from that. That pays for processing our podcast through Sean. Sean's still part of the team. Hopefully we'll get back into a studio sometime.
Yeah.
But also the merch is separate also, because that money doesn't go through anything that comes through us, goes to the foundation we've talked about, except the merch money that stays in with the merch money, and Kimberly and Lindsay that run the merch decide on that. So Jewel Gazer this is my chance to plug the merch. I love the merch. Jewel Gazer is asking about it. By the way, if I'm plugging the merch, I have in a book I'm referencing, I have
your bookmarker.
Bookmarker, yes, my Optimist bookmarker in there
nice.
that I'm using.
I like it.
Okay. I just got back from a granddaughter's soccer game where I was wearing my Optimist as my cardio hat. So
yes,
using the merch. But let me, Kimberly, since Jewel Gazer asked that question, Kimberly said, we actually have some fun merch news coming soon. So Kimberly, since you told us that, I think you have a time frame about which is coming. So put that in the comments too, so people can get excited about that. So
I like when people post on the Facebook community and they're wearing like a sweatshirt, or they have a hat on, or whatever it is, or they got the sticker on their cup. I got my merch today in the mail. I love it. I love seeing that. I think it's fantastic. It puts smiles on my face.
Oh, so here's a mysterious one also, Adam, for us. This is Lindsay, our chief of everything. Just like Joel at STS has a COE, his wife.
Yeah.
Lindsay's not our wife. That's not a Mormon thing for a woman to have 2 husbands. So don't get started on that. But she is our we call her our chief of staff, but she said,
chief of everything.
We just plugged the guest that we're recording. Apparently she has someone else coming on soon too.
Oh, cool.
So something else for us to look forward to. So thanks for that exciting piece of tease there. Cammie asks, is it Dr. Denham? No, Dr. Denham is our surprise, not Lindsay's. So Lindsay's will be an additional exciting guest. Dr. Denham will record, I think it's this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll have him on soon.
Yeah, so he'll be on soon. The 4 that Adam and I are talking about are all part of the same program that we are going to offer to y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be so good. Like, it's going to be really, really beneficial for a lot of people, the way this has all come together. Again, just like our podcast organically came about, this whole idea and all these things that with these 4 guests, I think it's going to be incredible.
No money for you. This is not our Patreon channel we're talking about. This isn't going to cost you money. No. As we've said, our podcast will continue even when and if we do a Patreon channel. Our podcast will continue as it has, and this is part of the podcast.
Yeah, you'll get everybody that watches the podcast is going to get all that. The Patreon, who knows that, probably in 2 or 3 weeks we'll get that going, and that's just all extra stuff. If you want all this extra stuff, and a lot of people don't need extra stuff, but some people love it, so that's why we're going to have that offer to people that really want the extra stuff.
Okay, so Cindy says she'd love to hear more about EMDR. You're going to hear a lot from professionals that are using it, have used it personally, and are using it in their profession to help others. So you won't be disappointed, Cindy. You'll be able to hear a lot about that. And
where's everybody checking in from? Usually we have like Scotland or Australia or England or all over the world.
Adam, they're all there in the early comments, but we have 11 starred questions lined up, so I'm trying to get to those.
Oh, I forgot. We're doing a live. We got to answer questions. All right, sorry. I always get carried away. It's like, all right, let's just chit chat with people.
Well, we're just doing it through their questions, and this is such a kind one. I had to put it up because we like strokes like anyone. We like people to be nice to us, and we're grateful for that. And Jen Becker said, I went back and watched all of your podcasts, and I'm so proud of the both of you have come so far.
Oh, thanks.
That's a nice observation. We feel that too, and we credit y'all for most
helping us get to this point.
Yeah, we really do. Diane L says, my aunt doesn't have to have chemo for her cancer diagnosis. That's exciting news. That's probably a silver lining for Diane this week and everyone that's involved in their family and the aunt's family. And can you imagine
just this one comment, and you start thinking about other people's lives, and you think about how bad you have it, or you feel like, oh, I can't go on anymore. You're not laying in a hospital bed with cancer, or have somebody that you love go through cancer. I mean, those are hard things to deal with, and we all have things to deal with. But there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of hard things to go through, and that's why I think this podcast and the support that you get on this podcast is different than anything I've been associated with. So we're with you 100%. And congratulations for that too. We're excited when people get good news about bad situations. Like for 5 years, I got bad news. And anytime I got good news about the bad news, it was a little bit of relief from the bad news.
Yeah, any little bit of positive news.
Yes, it always helps.
Okay, let me address this. Donna asked, is very attentive and has been with us for a long time. Rex, what's wrong? You seem sad today. Sorry about that. I'm actually pretty happy with everything.
Why are you so upset, Rex? What's wrong?
My granddaughter won her soccer match. And
have you eaten ice cream today? Did you get any Bluebell today?
No, I don't have any Bluebell, thank heavens. I'm down 6 pounds under my driver's license weight. So I'm
oh my gosh. I lost 7 pounds in the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Maybe it's spring. Maybe it's springtime.
I think it's because I don't have any Bluebell in my home. But thanks, Donna, for being concerned. I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe I think it's because I have been a little more emotional this week. I think Lisa, she's a medical professional. I think she's been slipping estrogen into my testosterone cream. So, it just
you've been crying a lot this week, or just
I maybe just break out and crying. But I'll tell you, I was crying earlier, and I was kind of frustrated at it, telling Lisa and I were talking about this direction Adam and I feel the podcast is going to be going with these guests we have right now. And it was emotional. I don't know why. That's why I think it was just estrogen.
Because it's something really, it's something that's really big, I think, that can help a lot of people. And when you feel like, okay, I can be part of something like that, then it feels, the fulfillment comes through in your body and your spirit. Everything feels it. And so I think that happens a lot with me too.
Yeah. And it's life mission stuff. And it's anyone can be helped. I mean, so many people need help with the trauma in their life, and the fact that we can be instruments to provide that and a gateway to professional help or just resource help, we're thrilled about this. So
yeah.
That may be part of it. That is on my mind nonstop, as a matter of fact. So let's shift the attention over to Adam with this question. These questions from
Adam. Why are you so sad? Well, let me tell you.
Adam, when will you know if you'll be called to testify? I think about the mental preparation, and as I am in counseling for PTSD. On a side note, EMDR is working for me.
Oh, that's incredible. That's so great to hear.
It is.
And I can't. And who's that from, Renee?
That's from Renee Pruitt.
Renee, you need to really watch the next couple of podcasts that are coming up. I just think that you'll benefit a lot from it. And congratulations on your success with healing. Thinking about it, I don't know what's going to happen. I remember I haven't talked to the prosecutors since Rex and I started a podcast where we reached out and said, hey, we're going to do a podcast. Do you have any objections of us talking about, our lives? So that was the first time they said, well, you'll probably be on the list. So with Lori, I don't know when her trial starts. Does it start in July or August or something, supposedly?
I don't know if the date's been set.
Okay. Well, and then again, I don't know, maybe it's a week before that they need to have me on stand that they contact me. I don't know what the process is with it, but they haven't contacted me. And what am I going to say that I haven't said on the podcast or in interviews or book? I mean, I've said everything. I mean, they could literally just take clips of things that I've said and just have a TV on the court and just play whatever question they're going to ask, because I've answered all of them. But whatever it is, I mean, I know Summer had to go do it. And so, at some point, if I just want to protect my son, Zach. I know he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be involved. He doesn't want to be in the court. He doesn't want to see Lori. It's going to be devastating for him. Obviously for me too, but for him, it's like, I'm more worried about him than I am me.
Very valid. All right. What else do we have? Get that. When are we starting the Patreon account? Is that the right word? Tell you the truth, we were going to start it, good grief, 1st of April is week after next, and we still might. It's just now we have this new approach to things. We have to see where everything fits together. So it may be delayed a week or two, but very soon, probably 1st of April.
It's coming.
We want it going as the trial starts, because we'll still be talking about the trial here on this channel, but the Patreon will give people the chance to have discussions in a group about it. And I think people will want to do that about the trial. So we want to start it then.
How big is this? I know one of the benefits of being a Patreon account is that you get a Zoom meeting with Rex and I once a month. So it's going to be like you and me in a square, and then 50 other people in little squares. And then when you talk, your square pops up so we can see you. And then when you're done talking, your square goes back down with the rest of the little squares. How does that Zoom thing even work with a big group or what's our group going to be cut off? Do you know?
Well, we are going to limit the size of the group just for that reason. We want people to actually be able to converse. And so.
So we'll do several different ones then probably.
Yeah. So if there are 100 people that want to do this, we'll limit it to 10 or 20 per group. And you just sign up for, certain Parental. That one's full, then you sign up for the next one, etc.
Gotcha.
And we'll have moderators in there. I imagine Missy, Kimberly, Lindsay will probably be in there. We'll have moderators, whoever we can get to moderate, that will.
Why do we need moderators? Let's just let it fly. We're all looking at each other. Let's just talk.
Because what will happen is what just happened when you talked over me and I talk over you. There are only two of us, Adam. We talk over each other all the time. Can you imagine with 20 people in a discussion, what would happen?
You have to go like this. You have to raise your hand. Okay, I'm ready to talk. And then we just point at what square. Who knows how that's going down.
Okay. couple more questions about the book. Griffin tells us you can request the book for your public library. I have for mine.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting. So that's a way you can get a copy of the book and leave
I want to go to a public library and walk in and ask for our book to see it on a shelf somewhere. That would be
Do you know how to find a public library, Adam? Have you been to one?
But the last time I was in a public library is the Dewey Decimal System. And so I don't know how the new one works.
Yep. And that's one answer for this next question from Nancy Stout. Where do we order a book? You can order one for your library, but you actually go to Amazon to order the book.
Or Barnes and Noble, right?
Barnes and Noble is an option.
You can get the audiobook on Audible. There's like different places where you can get the book. I guess wherever you buy books.
Yeah. Now, if you're saying, hey, I don't have the money, I would like a copy that's provided from the other optimists. In that case, send an email to our email, rexandadam@gmail.com, with your address if you want the printed book. If you want a Kindle or audio, let us know that. And by the way, someone asked for a Kindle version. I just saw that request today. It's on me to get the instructions on how to do it. So sorry if you're delayed and I don't remember the name of the person, but when I do what I should do, you'll get it right away because it's just by email. So,
I just had a brilliant idea, but I bet you guys already talked about this in a meeting that I probably wasn't in. So with the Patreon account, why don't you and I read some of our favorite things from the book to the group? Or was that an idea? Did somebody have that idea for the Patreon group?
Well, similar to that, we haven't talked about that specifically, but I know our friends at Hidden True Crime, part of the Patreon experience is having a book club with Dr. John.
Oh.
Now, they read different books and come prepared to talk about it.
Oh, gotcha.
We could have a version of that where we read the book or sections of the book and come and talk about it with us. So
we can bring 3 books. We can bring our book, Lori's Lies and Family Ties. We can bring my book. We can bring your book. Or you have 2 books. No, you have 3 books. We might have 5 books to read from.
Let's get Lisa's books in there.
Yes, look, we'll come prepared with some books. I like it.
I hear in the background, no.
Yes, bring Lisa into the limelight.
Lisa's back there listening to us, and she's learned to listen from afar so she can defend herself in moments like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Still on the book topic, Joyce says it would be cute if everyone that receives the traveling book would sign their name and city in the blank front page. I think that's the whole idea, isn't it, of the traveling book? That's not my.
Do people that get the traveling book? What do they do once they get it? Do they have a week to read it and then send it off to somebody else, or is there a format for the traveling book?
I think that's the case.
Okay.
Kimberly or Lindsay will have to weigh in on that one to tell us about it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, look at this. We don't usually celebrate birthdays, but what we'll do for Nona Malou, yesterday was her birthday. We'll do you 2 favors. One, we'll say happy birthday on behalf of all of us. The other favor is we will not sing happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday, Nona.
That is a gift that has tremendous value. If you've ever heard Adam I sing.
My birthday's coming up very soon, and it's a bad birthday. I don't even want to celebrate it.
Are you gonna be 29?
Close.
Coming up April 4th?
Yeah, April 4th is my birthday. So I'm probably 2. Is it 2 weeks? Yeah, I'm probably like 2 weeks away from
less than 2 weeks. Yeah.
But the thing about birthdays for me, like the older I get, I used to get so excited about birthdays, and then now it's like, no, not again, not this. It came up still so fast again. It's like, oh, it's going too fast.
Jewel Gazer still wants to see you hug a cow. In fact, she says we all want to see it. So Adam, come on, get on with it. It's not like cows are that hard to find.
No, so somebody did say there's a place 2 hours from here in Phoenix, And today's Saturday. I had the day off. I should have done it today. But there's a place where you can go hug a cow. And so I know I want it. Trust me. I know you want me to do it, but I literally want to do it. I just want to just hold on to a cow and just love on it for at least an hour.
Well, quit stalling. Go back to goat yoga. They have a cow on the premises. You just didn't want to walk because it was a couple blocks.
It was a mile.
Oh, brother, you don't even know how far it was.
She said it was a mile away, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not walking a mile." You guys got a hayride? I can jump on.
You can drive to it. But good grief, it's right there in your town, and these are friends of yours. Go hug a freaking cow.
But we need video of it. People want to see it, and I can't video myself, so we may have to wait and do another live some point.
Okay, so Misty just highlighted one. I thought, well, that's a good one to have up there, but
you lost it.
And she took it down. She had it. Oh, yeah, here it is. She asked, who narrates the Audible version of the book, Adam?
Unfortunately, it's Rex and I. That was not a pleasant experience for either one of us. Well, at least I'll speak for me. I did my first book. I did the audio. I wanted somebody else to do it. And they said, you're in radio. You have the voice. You got to do your own book. And it was miserable. And then this book, when they said we were going to do, I was hoping, please let one of those guys with the grill, like maybe Sean. Sean's got one of those big radio voices. Sean would have been perfect to do our audiobook. And everybody's like, no, you got to do your own book. And it's like, again, I had to do our own book. And so we're the voices that you hear, unfortunately.
Because Adam had the voice for radio, I had the face for radio. It was a perfect match. It's not that I enjoy doing it, but I think it was important that we did it. And we certainly got emotion in the places where we felt emotional. So
yeah, and I haven't even listened to our audiobook, so I don't even know what they've edited or cut out or anything. So
nothing.
Oh, it's all in there?
It's all in there.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, what can they cut out? All we did is read our book. They aren't going to cut out chunks.
No, I mean, but I had a 5-minute pause, breakdown, cry, so I couldn't even get to the next line.
Okay, they edited out a lot of the pauses.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Kimberly. Okay, here's the official word. Merch updates coming around April 1st. No joke, we promise. In fact, in our meeting, that's what they said. They didn't want to do it on April 1st because people didn't want people to think that it was an April Fool's joke.
Do people still do April Fool's jokes?
Of course.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a podcast on April 1st then.
Okay, moving on.
That'd be a great one.
Will either of you attend Chad's trial?
No, I won't. Rex probably will, but I'm not going.
I'll probably attend some of it because I feel compelled to take advantage of the opportunity to thank people. And at the trial, you have a lot of the law enforcement people that are there. You have wonderful media people, and whether they interview us or not doesn't matter. Anyone in the media, including podcasters, including the podcasters that don't like us and say bad things about us. Everyone is involved in the same side, the same cause. We all want, I know y'all have heard me say this a lot, but we
justice for the victims. Yes.
Exactly. And so I feel grateful to all of them. So since they're all gathered there together, yeah, I'll probably go just to say thank you to all of them. I don't have any other role there.
I'll say thank you from right here. Thank you, everybody, for all your hard work.
And I'll represent at the trial for you.
Yes, I love that you do that for me.
But the actual stuff that comes out in trial, Tia Quinn that asks that, sometimes that's hard to deal with. So you have to be prepared for that because y'all have the chance to listen to it. Well, everyone can go or listen to it. It's just going. You may not get into the courtroom. The seats are raffled off. I think not raffled. What's the right word? You pay money to get seats, but you put
auction. They're auctioned off. All right.
Anyway, moving on.
Sorry.
Let's see. Griffin, we mentioned this at the very beginning. have you guys been following the release of the videos the last couple of days having to do with Ruby Frankie? Heavy stuff. I have not. Adam, I don't think you have.
No, I have not. I apologize.
And well, it's not like we're required to.
Oh, that's something we're supposed to
do.
We
don't pretend to be good true crime people, and we aren't following other cases, not even this one. I'll probably peruse it because I do have a family interest in it, but we haven't to date. So you've given us.
Wait, we have a family interest, or you have a family interest?
Well, you're related
to
me, and so I have a family interest.
So by association, I got it.
Guilt by association.
Oh, all right, I gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for the heads up on that, Griffin. So telling us that happened gives us impetus to at least go see what's going on there.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit interested. Oh, okay. Kimberly says, do your new favorite moderator a favor and everyone go lovingly caress that like button. It won't bite, I don't think.
We don't have a like button on ours.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Adam and I can't like ourselves on here.
That's terrible. They should at least
be lighting it up all the time.
I would put two, but I'd hit a like right now if there was one I could hit. But there's not.
It would just be
constantly. It'd be up to like 3 million, like the whole time, an hour of us me going like this.
Mm-hmm. I've got some insight here that's kind of it's one of those things I wouldn't share to anyone, to just anyone. But since you asked this, I want to share something on this. But Adam, let's go to you first. Tia Quinn asks, curious, are there any hymns that have helped you feel peace through these last few years?
Hymns, church hymns, like songs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The one that gets me the most is How Great Thou Art. That song to me hits me like a ton of bricks. Whether I'm sitting in church, I'll start bawling every time I'm at church. I look around and so no one's looking at me and I'm trying to wipe tears away. But for some reason, that song, that hymn gets me every time I hear it. Every time.
Yeah. I love that one too. But let me tell you a little story here. We've talked about the fact that Alex Zulema had a memorial service for Alex, and there were only 20 people there, and I was one of the people there. And during that time, that you can imagine during that time what was going on, with the case, with Lori, with Alex, just things were in turmoil. I was getting a lot of peace. One of my favorite songs on my chill out playlist was David Archuleta singing. But he is singing to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, "Be Still My Soul." Okay. Think about if you're a singer, you are performing in front of the Motabs. Can you imagine how daunting that is?
Yeah.
And but it's such a beautiful rendition. You can pull it up on YouTube. And so that was on my mind, and I got to say a few words there. There are so few people, anyone that wanted to could say something, and I said a few things. And at the end of my speaking, I had with me, because I just felt like I should take it with me, the fourth verse, because the fourth verse is one that it's not in our hymnal at church. It's in some hymnals, but it's about people that die. Be still my soul. It's for comfort when someone has died. And so I read that off there. And my sister Janice came up to me afterwards and said, "Why did you quote that?" Obviously, I didn't sing it because that would not be respectful to anyone.
Right.
I said, "Why'd you quote
I'm
that?"
surprised my dad didn't sing it. He sung at church from the pulpit.
He sang at his own wedding. I know you weren't there.
No, I was not.
I was 9 years old, but he sang.
I'm surprised he didn't get up and sing. That's
but he didn't. But apparently, Janice told me this was Alex's most meaningful hymn, especially the fourth verse. I don't know why.
Wow.
I didn't stop to ask why, but that's just kind of a neat inside story.
That is neat. I mean, that's an intuition thing. Like
yeah,
that, because
exactly.
it's just something that connected, and that's interesting. I'm
And
glad you shared that because I didn't know that.
yeah, well, sometime I'll sit down and tell you about the, what happened at the service. We haven't even talked about that because
Yeah, I have no idea. I wasn't invited to my own brother's funeral, so yeah.
well, a lot of people weren't since there were only 20 there, and most of them weren't our family.
Yeah.
But while I'm on that subject, those of you that are on the Facebook group may have noticed that Lisa posted a picture a few days ago of her, me, and Alex one time when we were down listening to Alex's comedy.
Yeah.
And then we took a picture afterwards. She posted it, and I thought it was kind of cool that she posted. We don't, with the horrible, despicable things that Lori and Alex have done, we don't try to disown them or say they weren't family members. We were close. We were all close. Adam was close to them. We don't disassociate. In fact, someone, how this happens to you a lot too, Adam. People, you're catching up with someone you haven't seen for a long time, and somehow the, Lori Daybell stuff comes up, and people ask, "Oh, were they distant relatives?" No, this is right there, up front and personal with us. And I'm glad that Lisa did that just to say, "Hey, this was a great time of our life." Basically, is what she was saying. She surprises me a lot.
Way to go, Lisa. Way to be brave.
Yeah, she's her whole interaction in the Facebook group and with us surprised me because she's so hesitant to be out in front of the camera.
Yeah, she's doing great on that. I see her on there a lot.
It's cool when she does things like that. And thank you, Cami. Yes, sometimes emotion is a happy thing. I cry a lot about happy stuff, like Rex. Okay, yeah. Thanks. I guess I do cry a lot. It's the estrogen, okay?
You want to borrow some of my testosterone?
Well, I have some. Lisa's sneaky. That's how Lisa's gained the estrogen to me, I think.
Start taking Shilajit. That's the whole testosterone thing. It's a whole thing from the Himalayas.
Okay, well, I'll let you stick with the Himalayas. I've got to stick with my medical professional.
I think it's called Shilajit. It's a weird name, but it's amazing.
Boy, we better catch up here, Adam. We have a lot of questions and not much time. Sorry, I'm putting on.
Well, maybe we'll go over an hour. Let's go. What are the questions? Let's get to them.
Well, Kimberly, at this point, don't encourage them right now, but she said, don't forget to put some question marks in front of your questions. Make sure we see them. She's speaking for the moderators there and doing a great job. And we answered Nancy, where's the best place to order a book? Vicky asked, we can address this. Have you seen similarities between Lori and Ruby Frankie? When watching some of the news yesterday, it made me think about Lori. I think we all see that they're both blonde, young. You could tell that they were attractive. You may or may not find them attractive now, but you can tell that they aren't hard to look at. You can tell that they're obviously both Mormon and ran into some out of the, I don't even want to say out of the box. That's a positive connotation. Some off the rails ideas and ran with them. So there are definitely those similarities. But Adam, do you see like physical similarities?
Somebody has sent me a message today, and they said, "Hey, this is happening in St. George." I mentioned that. Do you know the story or whatever? And I was like, "No, I don't really know it." They said, "Well, she looks like your sister," and so yeah, you can say that too. But exactly what you just said, the similarities are exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm. And Nona Malou says, Adam, your concern for Zach and his feelings speaks volumes to you as a father. I'll second that. I think we'll all second that. Good for you wanting to shield him from any further trauma.
Yeah, he's been through enough. And if you read our book or listen to me try to read our book, that's the part where I get the most emotional. is how, what Zach had to go through. And so, yeah, I just don't want him to have to, and especially since he doesn't want to. If he didn't mind, he's like, "Oh, Dad, I can do it." But if he's petrified, he does not want to do it, and I don't blame him.
Nona Malou, I don't blame him either. Good grief, Zach and Colby.
Yeah, they've been through life. They've been through, and they're so young, and it's just there's a lot there.
There aren't too many people that lost as much as they lost. Maybe Brandon did lost his family, to a degree with all of it, but that's just tragic. Nona Malou says there are 100 in chat, but only 55 likes. Please back out for a moment, smash the thumbs up for a like. Thank you, Nona Malou, for that reminder. Jill, I can't remember where Jill's from. Maybe Australia, but somewhere out of the U.S., maybe Scotland. I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember. Can't wait to hear all those different American accents on Patreon.
Oh, that's the good thing about Patreon is that people from all over the world are going to be on this video with us, and we're going to get to chit chat with everybody in their accents. Oh, I can't wait for that.
Okay, babe. Cami Day says we love Lisa with a big heart. Just gotta let her know she'll know when she hears the replay too. Yeah. So thanks for that, Cami. I think so, Princess. Princess wonders, I wonder if the same people that testified at Lori's trial will testify again at Chad's. I'm sure there'll be a lot of repeats, don't you think, Adam?
Well, yeah, I'm sure there should be. But I don't think Summer's gonna have to, right? Because it wasn't Summer's just more about what her and Lori's conversation was on the phone or on the jail thing. So
that was, but there may be other factors where people play in. They may not be testifying about the same evidence.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who's going to be testifying at Chad's trial. I don't know what they have against them. I don't know all the way they're going to go, how they're going to, set up their trial.
And Cindy Dalton will do the same favor to you that we did to Nona Malou. Today is her 61st birthday, just a kid. And
love it.
What a treat to be able to watch your podcast on my birthday. Dang, Cindy, you need to get out more.
What do you want for your birthday, Cindy? Reply back with one thing that if you could have anything for your birthday, what would it be? Let us know.
Don't let us leave you with the impression that we're going to provide it.
Not at all. I'm just curious of what it is. And if it's something small, maybe we can. Who knows?
Okay. Laurel Needham says, I have my copy of Lori's Lives book I'm willing to provide to someone who can't afford to buy one. Mods, what's the best way to get my email address to the connection queue? I believe, Laurel, even though I'm not a mod, I know if you'll just send it to rexandadam@gmail.com, they'll be able to take care of it from there. So thank you for that. That's very generous, and thank you to many of you that have done something similar.
What a great email address, rexandadam@gmail.com. It doesn't get any clearer than that.
Yep. Janine, good to see you. Our good friend Janine, who's up in Rexburg and was helping us so much with the meet and greet that we didn't get.
Oh, yeah.
And she ordered new wristbands. She just ordered them because she wanted to have them. She dropped them off to the law enforcement officers on Thursday. So
what kind of wristbands are we talking?
She has Tammy wristbands, Tylee and JJ wristbands, Charles wristbands, combinations of those.
Me. So I have my Tylee and JJ on here, but this one has all pickleball, pro pickleball things that I've won. So I keep that there, and so I could add some on this one now.
Yeah. So
I like them. I like those rubber bracelets.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Rex, you're so kind, filled with compassion for the victims. I think we all are. I think I'm just representing everyone that's on here. We're all filled with compassion for the victims.
Yeah.
So thank you for that observation, and I'll extend that to everyone else that's here. Adam, let me have you answer Donna's question here, even though she addressed it to me. Do you think my sister Janice will go to Chad's trial?
No, my mom dislikes Chad more than any human being on the earth. Yeah, she's not a fan, and she will not be at Chad's trial ever.
And not that going to a trial shows support for someone. That's not what Adam's trying to say. But another, it's just she doesn't want any type of interaction, even with hearing about him very much.
Obviously, she wants him to, pay for what he's done as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all do. But that's the catch-22. And even with Lori's trial, people were, coming down on me. Well, why aren't you at the trial, Adam? You're not showing support. Why aren't you there for the victims and all that? And it's like, you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. So I just stayed away because really, what am I going to do by standing there where I could support them from being here too? Support is a different version of what, depending on what you think I should do or what I feel in my heart I should do. So just because I don't show up at Lori's trial or Chad's trial doesn't mean I don't want things to happen and the kids and Charles and Tammy to get justice, because I do. I think they all deserve justice. So for me, it was a difficult time during Lori's trial because I got, people were hammering me for not going.
And let me back Adam up on that. And I usually don't resort to this type of description because it sounds unkind, like I'm trying to battle back to someone, but please hear the words and don't take it as an affront. But until someone has someone they love, and I know this has happened to some of you, until someone has someone they love commit a crime or they've lost someone in a crime, being in the courtroom is an emotional onslaught that you don't experience anywhere else. So you are not ready for it. And so I applaud Adam for not going, because who wants that avalanche? I wasn't prepared for it, and I didn't lose as much as Adam did. I wasn't as emotionally invested, and I couldn't handle it. And can you imagine Janice? I can't.
Yeah,
so I would beg Adam, Janice, anyone else like that, Summer, if she could, Barry, I would beg them to stay away from the courtroom. Humans, we are not prepared for that onslaught of emotions. That is an affront to your mental health. Not that you can't get through it, not that you can't deal with it, and some people react differently than others. I understand all that, but don't ever have the expectation that someone should go to trial for whatever reasons you're thinking, to support someone or to hear something. That's just wishing too much on someone.
Thank you, Rex.
Sure. I got my book from Darlene a few days ago. Thank you so much, Darlene, and the entire Optimist family. That's exactly why, one of many reasons for which we love this community. Let me say this. I've got a picture of Granddad behind me. My granddad, Adam's great-grandfather, the West Texan. So looking like a cowboy? Yeah, it's my grandfather. I probably look like him. His eyes and my eyes are the same color of blue. Mm-hmm. And I loved Granddad, so glad to honor him with the picture back there. Thanks for asking about that. I'm trying to hurry here because we still have 8-starred comments or questions with about 56 seconds left. Thoughts on John Pryor? I don't have any, so sorry, I'll pass that one. Adam, do you have any?
No, none.
I'm grateful for any legal people that serve in this, because someone needs to be there. So in that regard,
somebody has to do it. Somebody has to defend Chad. So yeah.
Here's one that comes up once in a while. Valid question, Irish McGlass. Rex and Adam, have any of your family gone to visit Lori in the jail? Do your family members send her anything? I'll go first, Adam. My daughter petitioned to go see her, but Lori hasn't okayed that. I don't know of anyone else that has sent her anything or gone to visit her. Do you, Adam?
I know people want to go see her, I think, but I don't think anybody has. So most, yeah. If I knew, I would, and then again, would I want to go see her? We've talked about that several times. So that's always in the back of my mind too.
Yes, let me put this up. The way to contact us, rexandadam@gmail.com. Okay. And, we aren't great emailers. I wouldn't say we check that daily, but we do check it when we realize, oh, good grief, I haven't checked that. So we give it our shot. Where do you purchase wristbands? I'll tell you what, let's stay tuned and we'll ask that of Janine. Maybe Janine in a closing comment here. I said, let me put it up here. Diane Scott asks, where do you purchase the wristbands? I only have the one for Tylee and JJ. By the way, your book is amazing. My husband is reading it as well. Thank you, Diane.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully he likes it too. Because if you like it and he hates it, then it's like, oh, what do you think of especially when you have something that you really like and you share it with your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend. Hey, you got to see this movie. It's amazing. You go watch the movie and they're like, same with the book. This book is amazing. You're going to love this, honey. He's reading. Is like, what does she like about this?
And so if we have a few more stars, we're running a little over on time, and I need to go to a family dinner in another city. So let's see. Let me see if Janine's still on, if she can talk. Joel Gazer says, I'd have nightmares if I visited Lori. That's, probably valid for most of us. Thank you to the mods. And so let me extend that thank you. One of our optimists said that. We appreciate them too. It's nice when all the technology works and the mods are here helping us. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thanks for all of your questions. Sorry we missed a couple. Join us again. We're going to attempt to do it next Saturday at 4:30, and give us your comments on, should we keep moving it around like we were doing before, or just have one time for the lives during the week if our schedule supports that. It's usually a scheduling problem on our end.
Or is it Friday? Did you like Friday night date night, 8:00 on Friday night? Spend your Friday nights with us live.
Yeah, and just since we're on our way out, thank you, Janine. Got that message. Let's see. Oh, dang, there's another one I was going to put up. Hugs to all from the great white north of Canada. Such a great way to spend a Saturday evening, Susie Rock says. Thank you guys for everyone the rest of your day. Good. Thanks for being with us. Sorry we didn't get to all of them, but we'll continue trying our best with that. Adam, any closing comments?
Yeah, watch the next 4 podcasts. It is going to be tremendous for a lot of people. I think this can help so many people. So we're excited to bring this to you, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as Rex and I did interviewing and getting this information. So hopefully you'll enjoy listening to our next 4 podcasts as we transition into something that's going to be, I think, beneficial for a lot of people.
Darn near all of us. All right. Thank you. Take care.